Are you ready, kids? I don't know why I did that. See, sometimes those voices just come bubbling out. Hey, everybody. How we doing? I think you know this guy. Yep, it's over this side. This guy over here. Skipper, our friend Skipper's Aquatics. Skipper, right? Skipper's Aquatics. Is that the name of the channel? Skipper's Aquariums. I always get those. Yeah, I Aquariums, Aquatics, but I'm sure everybody knows Skipper. And good. Big M already put your link in there, so he'll throw it up there throughout the thing too. So if you haven't subscribed, go hit up Skipper's channel. A lot of cool stuff over there. Pretty cool guy we got tonight. So hi there. How you doing?
Hello.
Skipper?
I'm doing pretty good.
I guess I should let you talk a little bit. Maybe that would be a good thing. I tend to talk a little bit too much in these sometimes, and don't let the other person get a word in edgewise.
Well, a lot of people already know quite good about me.
I don't know too much. I don't. You live Ohio?
I live in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay, so you're not too far. What part of Pennsylvania, roughly?
Central PA. I'm about 45 minutes from State College, home of the Nittany Lions.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably about a 3.5, 4 hour drive from me then.
From you, yeah, probably. Yep.
That's we call it Pennsyltucky.
Yep.
And what do you do for first of all, Skipper, or do you want to tell us your first name? Do you like just going by Skippers, or?
My first name's Tom.
Okay.
Last name Skipper. So everybody, ever since I was a kid in high school, that's what I've been called. So, and then, when you go into the military like I have, which I was in the Air Force, I did it for 6 years.
Wow.
And they always call you by your last name anyways. So it just keeps going.
Gotcha. So not very many people call you Tom, probably. Most people probably call you Skipper.
Yep.
That's my brother's name too, by the way, Tom. And you were in the Air Force for how long, you said? 6 years?
Yeah, I did 6 years.
Wow. Well, thanks for your service. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
That. Maybe we should give it a minute, because I see a bunch of people coming in. Hey, everybody. And again, just to remind everybody, the first part, we don't look at the chat too much. It'll just be Skipper and I talking. And about halfway through the hour, then we'll look at the chat. So if you have questions that come up for Skipper, then that'll be the time to ask him. But I apologize for not looking at the chat that first half hour. But I do appreciate everybody being here. And I see a lot of the usual suspects. Again, thank you guys all for coming in. I love seeing you here. And let's get to know a little bit more about Skipper. So you live in middle of Pennsylvania, roughly.
Yep.
And you do something. Are you a volunteer fireman or something? I feel like there's something you do that way.
Yes, no? You can probably hear it in the background. That's one of my side things. I used to do that whenever I was a kid. 16, I think, is when the junior firefighters started. It might have been earlier than that. I ran with them, the company around my house, till I hit. Actually, I stayed active in the military with them, but only whenever I came home on leave. I still ran calls and stuff with them. Then I moved and I stayed out of the game for about 10 years and got back into it. So,
and how long have you been doing it again now since you came back to it?
I just started it back up in January.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's something I don't think that people on the West Coast, and I'm not sure about the South, but I don't think on the West Coast, volunteer fire departments are what most places, depend on. Like up here in upstate New York, there's no paid fire departments in almost all the little villages and stuff. We all depend on people like Skipper for not just when your house is burning down, but also when there's accidents and stuff and directing traffic. And, if there's anything like that, it's all volunteer people that are there on the scene first. So thanks for that. Appreciate you doing that. That's a very cool thing.
You're welcome.
And if somebody in the chat too, if you live in the South or if you're out West or maybe the Northwest, I'm interested to know if that's a thing there, because when I lived out in Arizona, I never heard of that. But like I said, it's very big here in upstate New York. It's all over the place. So.
Yeah, I know. Like the bigger cities, they all got paid. Our bigger towns, like it's called Huntington. That's where I work there at the jail, and they have a paid ambulance crew. A lot of the fire companies that have ambulance crews are starting to convert to getting paid. Now, our fire company is not that way. We're all still strictly volunteer. We're trying to stay away from that. We also, the thing with volunteer fire companies is the people that's in it. If you do the work with fundraisers and stuff like that, that's where you get your money.
Yeah.
And you gotta put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, it's a job. It's not. I mean, I know there's some perks to it. There's some things you guys get, but it's well deserved perks. Just like I said, the things that you do. A lot of these little towns and villages can't afford to have fire departments. So most of our money goes to keeping the roads clear of snow.
Yeah. I know a little bit about that too. Because I'm on that side of it in my town also.
Oh, you do a little road clearing stuff, the road works?
Well, actually, I'm on the borough council. So I know that side of it, all the ins and outs of, what you have to do to keep that. What it comes down to, everything just costs money.
Yeah, a lot of money.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't looking at the chat, but Mismatched Socks, hey there, said Texas here, and they have volunteer as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it is a little widespread.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's your rural areas, like outside the big cities. Where I live out in the sticks, like Patty mentioned in the comments, Skipper lives in the Pennsylvania wilds, and I do. Would not have it any other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody pretty much has it. You have to, or like for instance, my nearest biggest city that might have a paid fire company would be Altoona, and that's about 45 minutes away. So your house would be burnt down if you was in a car accident. Unfortunately, depending upon the injury, you might not make it.
Yeah. And if they were forced to pay for those services, it's so expensive that would be it. That would be what most of the money would go to for their budgets. I mean, you wouldn't have all the other stuff that you need for the little towns to survive. So.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So you said you work at you're a correction officer, or what do you do for a living?
Yep, I am a corrections officer. I work for it's the state prison. Yeah, it just pays the bills. There's so much stuff that happens in there that nobody would even understand or be able to fathom.
Yep. I know a little bit about that because where I used to work for our local county government as an IT guy, and I supported some of the police services and stuff. And I used to have to go over to the jail once in a while. We had a guy who supported just the jail, but I used to have to go over and help him. And the stories that he told me, but a lot of times he told me that the officers themselves should have been the ones behind bars.
Well,
he said a lot of them were just as bad as the guys on the inside.
It's funny because I like to tell them that, depending upon their crime, obviously, that some of them I'm just like, you got caught. We've all done stupid things as kids. If we would have got caught, we'd have been in trouble also.
Yep. Do your time. And, I was just thinking about this guy. Weldon Tanks is here, and he's also a correctional officer. He's sergeant.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I was just thinking about him, and it's funny that he showed up. He must have he could tell you some insane stories. Your
Oh
ears
yeah,
must have been burning, man.
yeah. Me and him could definitely tell some stories to each other, and we'd laugh about it. But then everybody be also like, "Why are you laughing at that? It's
Yeah,
funny."
you get a little jaded, I think. Thanks,
Yeah,
and thanks. Well done. It's good to see you. I've bought guppies from Well Done before he bought this. They just bought into a fish store, and
yeah.
it's a pretty cool trip watching all their videos and stuff about becoming ownership of this fish store. But I bought fish from him before when he was selling purely through our fish collective, and he did a very good job taking care of me when we had an issue. So
Okay.
very cool to see him. All right, so I didn't mean to take too much away from you there.
You're good.
All right, so Pennsylvania correction officer, and how long you been doing that bit?
Oh, I've been there for 13 years.
Oh wow, yeah. So you've seen some shit, man. You've seen some.
Yeah.
15 years. So are you gonna retire from that place? Are you
Yeah.
other stuff, or is that it's a pretty good thing? You said it pays
It's
the bills, so
once you're there, I mean, it's hard to find a job with benefits that has decent pay around where I live, you know. So I'm 38 now, so whenever I hit 50, I will retire at 50. I will have 26 years in, and then I got the rest of my life to enjoy myself.
yeah. That's pretty early. That's pretty
Yeah,
early.
I I don't plan on staying past 50, but life changes. You never know until you get there.
Yeah, maybe by then you'll enjoy it so much you don't want to leave.
No.
Yeah, well, it was a shot, there's a volunteer group here. They train with the fire department but aren't paid. Okay.
Mhm.
And Deborah Sanders, where's that? I know you just got a bunch of snow, didn't you? I remember you posted something.
I think she's in Texas.
Oh, I think you're right. Yep. I think you're right. Okay, so I'm just scrolling up here. I see Robert there, Tian Aqua, good to see you. Sandy Farrell, Muppet. I don't want to miss anybody. See, we could spend half an hour saying hi to all the awesome people. But and there's of
Yeah.
course Patty, David Farrell, north of Memphis. Okay, so another Tennessee person now.
Oh, it's Tennessee. Yeah.
Tennessee, Texas, they both start with T. They're close enough. Man, I'm gonna get beat up for saying that one.
Yeah, you probably will.
Mafia, the Tennessee Mafia will be after me. We got at least one of them in here, so I got to keep it on.
I'm sure two others are lurking.
And you've got a couple of kids.
Yes.
How old are your kids?
My youngest is 5. That's my daughter, and my oldest is 12.
So a son and a daughter, one of each, huh?
Yeah, and they ain't lying whenever they call it the $1 million family because you got to buy everything all over again.
And you're done?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I always ask my grandmother because she had 6 kids. I said, "How did you do it?" I said, "It's so expensive nowadays, it ain't even funny." Well, she goes, "Well, to be honest with you, whenever I filled a cart up of groceries, it wasn't $500 back then."
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's something about I don't want to get into politics, but minimum wage really hasn't kept pace, and it was a lot easier back then to buy a home, to get college education, to buy your groceries on much less money. The dollar did definitely go a lot farther than it does today. So,
Most definitely.
there's Furlocity. Good to see you. 2 kids, correction officer who lives in Pennsylvania, and the old standby. What got you into keeping fish?
Well, I've actually kept them whenever I was younger, still living at home with my parents. Uh, my first tank was a 29-gallon tank. You're gonna probably chuckle at this one, but how I got that tank was I traded a Sega Saturn for it.
Nice.
I
But
got
that made
I
me
got
feel really
tired of
old.
playing it. I got tired of playing it. One of my buddies said I wouldn't mind having it. I said, well, "What are you doing with that fish tank?" He goes, "Well, I want to get rid of it." I said, "Let's trade up even. I don't care." And it went from there.
Nice.
And
Nice.
then whenever I went into the military, I stopped. And then 2 years ago, well, actually, I'm working on 3 now. Yeah, no, 2 years. This tank behind me, it was my buddy that passed away of kidney cancer, and I dedicated the tank to him. And ever since then, I've just been going at it.
Yeah. It is definitely a fun hobby.
Learning a lot.
Yeah. And YouTubers, is that where you pick up most of your stuff, or do you have other avenues where you learn a lot of stuff? Or
Well, YouTube, and then I'll look up on some forums. Like I like Corey Doris is one of my favorite fish, as you can tell by my thumbnail. Uh, I got 3 different types, and I was really interested into breeding them. So I learned a lot off YouTube, and I figured out my own way of how to hatch the eggs, which I still haven't did a video yet, but I need to. I'm trying to get it, down packed, so to speak.
gotcha. What kind of plecos or cories do you have?
I have red Venezuelan. I have long fin Aeneas, which I got them off of Dan's Fish. Long fin Plautiatus, I also got them off of Dan's Fish. Last night, was it last night? Yeah, whenever after before you went on with Jess and them, they Eric Furlow, he did a pop-up stream because he wanted to make sure that all his stuff was working. I said, "Bud," I said, "I'll be there," because I co-host with him. I said, "Well, all right." I said, "You just have my camera on the fish tank." I'm telling you, I collected at least 100 and some Corridora eggs last night. It was crazy.
Nice.
Now, whether they're all fertile or not, I'll know in a couple of days, and then I'll just separate them.
Nice. And are you planning on selling online with that batch? If let's say you get half of that, let's say half of it is fertile. What's your plans for those?
Honestly, I have no idea right now.
Gotcha.
I have been that successful to have 50 fry. It was the same time.
Yeah.
I have an avenue. I have an LFS. I told her it's an older couple that runs it. So as of lately, I haven't checked, but they have not been allowing people into their shop. So what you do, you go on Facebook, tell them what you want, and they'll meet you at the door with it.
Gotcha.
She would probably take some because it's something that you don't see around here, and that's another reason why I got fish like that is if I can be successful at breeding it, why not help put it out into the community?
Yeah. Well, not for nothing, but it wouldn't be that hard to ship them, to upstate New York if you happen to know somebody who lived, in that area.
Yeah, I have to figure that out.
You have to try your hand at shipping. I'm going to have to ship this year too, and I've been saving all the boxes and stuff from everybody, so I have those, and I'll have to buy the bags and stuff. But I plan on doing probably some shrimp and some guppies this year. And I think most of it's just going to be asking a person to pay for the shipping. I'm not going to make any money on them the first few times, just to get used to it. So,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little nervous doing that right now because I have no experience with it.
Yeah, same here. I'm with you.
But there is a guy, if you watch a video, Dan's Fish, he will teach you all about shipping.
Yeah. Dan
It's
is
a very,
awesome.
very good video.
Professor Dan is awesome. And yeah, Sandy Farrell. Yeah, I was talking about myself. I know you guys are in upstate New York as well. But yeah, I was talking about myself. Yeah, Dan is awesome. He's an awesome guy and a lot of knowledge there too. I've learned a lot from watching his streams and stuff,
Yep.
and he's very willing to help people. There's other people out there too. Somebody else I just watched the other day that was doing the fish shipping video too. Who was it? I don't remember. I don't remember who it was, but there are quite a few of them out there though. So it's definitely the information is there if you're looking for it.
Oh yeah.
Just actually doing it is something different, right? You know.
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I feel that's why I'm going to do shrimp first because they're a little easier to ship, I think. So I'm going to try shrimp and then hopefully get rid of some guppies because I want to do summer tubbing this year, and with guppies. So I want to have some outlet. I don't have a local fish store, so I mean that's the only way to get rid of them. Is to give them out to some of the fish fan members. So. Rob, that's who it was. Yep, Rob 93. Thank you, Patty.
Oh
Rob
yeah.
93. Yep, he just did one. Yep. KG Tropicals has a shipping video. Yeah, see, there's a whole bunch of them out there. So, and Xanadu, I'm gonna try shipping some guppy grass next week. Well, let us know how it goes. That should make it okay. That stuff's pretty hard, at least for me. So, hey, Griffin, good to see you. Okay. What about other hobbies besides? I bet that you like to hunt and fish.
Oh yeah.
I mean, live from where you live. I know most people in your area, just like up here, most people are real big into hunting and fishing. What other kind of hobbies do you have?
Well, I know how to work on lawnmowers and stuff like that. And I do a little bit of woodworking whenever I have time. I have ideas in my head, and then I just make it for if it's something that we need. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, like to do stuff with your hands.
Yeah, and also what Patty said too.
What's that about the clubs or? That would be cool.
Beer.
Oh, drinking beer. Oh, gotcha. Drinking beer. That used to be one of my hobbies. Not so much these days. I was right. Oh, like Chubbs showed us last night that the stand that he's building.
Yes.
That kind of stuff you like doing too, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I've actually built my own TV stand. I built a refrigerator stand, which I got to reinforce that a mini fridge for a mini fridge. I like working with my hands because where I work, the only thing I accomplish is coming home after 8 hours. So for accomplishment like working with the fish, doing stuff like that down in my garage where I'm fixing lawnmowers for people. Sometimes I work on their cars if they can't figure it out. Just something to keep me busy, help keep my mind right.
Gotcha. And yeah, I can see at work you probably don't get much of a sense of accomplishment. Nobody died that day. Maybe you didn't.
Well, yeah, there was no fights or I didn't get hit or whatever. Yeah, that's an accomplishment. But that's an everyday thing.
I get what you're saying. Just getting the fish to breed and fixing those things. I understand what you're saying about that. Hold on one second here. Sorry about this. All right, sorry about that.
You're fine.
Let's see. what was my other question now? I drew a blank. So we talked about your hobbies. What other kind of fish would you like to keep that you don't currently have in any of your tanks? Is there something that you've seen recently, or something that you'd like to get a tank specifically for? Like sort of like a, maybe not your ultimate fish, but just something that you've seen recently that you really like.
I'm thinking about guppies, pure strain, not your mutts. I've been talking to some people about getting some off of them and working on, strain, keeping it true.
Gotcha.
Then, of course, I'm going to have to find a place to get them. So I'm going to end up doing what you're doing. Help people out in the fish fam and then eventually selling stuff.
If you wait for a little bit and it warms up, I can probably send you some, because if you don't mind sword-tailed guppies. This tank right up here, I started just a couple months ago with 4 guppies from Mob Guppy, Peter Mob Guppy, and there's probably close to 100 in there now. There's so much fry. They breed like crazy, and they don't touch their fry whatsoever. They do not eat them at all. So I'm going to need some place to send them, and they are pretty cool. They're very nice looking fish. So if you're interested, once it warms up, maybe I can send you, a good starter off from those if you want. They're not, the colors are good. I have some video. You have to look at it, because they're not your normal guppy with a lot of vibrant color, but the males they're like a peach color, but then they've got like a sheen on the side of them. So I don't know if they're what you're looking for. I think they're definitely more of an acquired taste than a normal guppy. But
check that out.
If you're interested, take a look and let me know. And as soon as it warms up, I'll definitely have a bunch I can send you, and you'll definitely have enough to get started with. They've been going crazy. What else do you keep there? I can't even see what's in the tank behind you. Is that an angels? Are those angels?
There's two angels in there. There's 4 flying fox algae eaters. There's 2 pictus catfish. And believe it or not, there is 1 zebra longfin danio in there.
Just one.
Yeah, he's the OG of the tank. He was original. Whenever I set that up, I bought a bunch of them. And it's a male, and he's the only one left. He's going strong.
They are cool looking too.
I actually had an angelfish. He finally passed last night. I think it was old age. Because there's nothing wrong with any of the other fish, but the next fish I mentioned to you last night when we was talking in Chubbs is I'm getting them gold Denison barbs. I'm getting them.
Not if I get them first. No,
There'll be 4 of them in that tank.
Yeah, that's what I want too. I really want those. If I can't get those, because it doesn't seem like they're easy to find, I am going to go with just the regular. It's going to be whenever I get the 75 to go over here, that's definitely what my first one is going to be. And for anybody that hasn't seen, I'm sure everybody in here has seen those, but you need to watch one of Dan's fish streams, and it's in the tank behind him. And every single stream, people are asking what those fish are, because they're just so vibrant, and they're like orange and yellow and just very bright and beautiful fish.
Yeah,
they get to be about 4 inches long.
Yeah,
something like that. I don't think they're not huge, but that's a good size.
Yeah, you definitely want 55 and up for them.
Yeah,
especially if you're wanting to get like 4 of them. It'd be hard for me just to buy one and throw it in at 20. That ain't gonna happen. I'm getting 4 to put it back.
Yeah, one by itself. Yeah. And do you already have a tank ready for them, or?
Oh, what? They're gonna get right in there.
Yeah. What size is that one? Is it a 75?
No, it's a 55.
Oh, is it? It's just tall.
Mm-hmm.
Must just be the angle.
It's the 55 tall.
Oh, that's why. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, they'll do just fine in there. I have a sponge filter hanging on the back. I have plants in there. I want to get different lighting for it though. That's the original lighting, and it just seems like on the screen it looks like it's bright, when you look at it, it don't look bright.
Gotcha.
It's weird.
And those real plants in it, or
Yeah, real plants.
what's that one on the right there? Is that Val, Jungle Val?
No, yeah, the one off to my left here. That's one of those. Oh man, yeah. Me and Latin do not mix well. Like octo something. Chubbs mentioned it last night in his stream. He has one. And then in the back, I have that valve that goes the whole way up to the top. It's the Italian red valve, I think it is, right here.
There we go.
Wow,
yeah, that's a tall one. That's
then that up there, that's just water spray. There are a bunch of Nubus in there, Crips. I got Amazon sword over here. I don't fertilize my tanks. I haven't got into that yet. So that's something I tried it and then like I totally forget about it. So
yeah, I'm with you.
I can't keep doing it. I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to put a calendar on the side of the tank or something so I know when it needs to be done.
That's what I need to do. Like I've got a bunch of the Amazon Echo devices around the house. I need to set up timers on there so every Wednesday at noon I get a reminder to do it or whatever. Because I suck at it too. I mean the root tabs are easy because you don't have to do those that often. But I use Easy Green from the co-op and I always forget to put it in the tanks. But you know what? I really don't. I don't really need it that much. Although my 55 needs it, but like this holding tank over here, I don't. You can't even really see it. Let's see if I can. Yeah, you can't see it. The other plants are in the way. It's just totally filled with plants, and those are all just clippings from the other plants. I'm waiting for them to start setting the roots off, and they'll go in some of the other tanks and stuff. So. That and most of that in there is water lettuce and pogostemon octopus.
That's what that is right there.
Oh, gotcha. Really? That's really leggy. I'm gonna.
No, I'll have to look. I get all my plants from KJE Tropicals.
Yeah.
So I'd have to look it up.
He's in upstate New York too, isn't he?
Yes, he is actually.
That's what I thought. Maybe it's another one of the pogostemons.
It could be.
Big M calls it a calimastratum. Calimastratum.
Could be.
Looks like a crinum.
Like I said, man, I'm terrible with these plant names. I'm terrible.
Me too.
If I think it looks good, I buy it and throw it in there. If it works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm the same exact way. I've tried a bunch of different stuff, and some things did not like our hard water at all, and other stuff is taken off. Hey, there's Bottom Dweller. Haven't seen you in a few days. Wondered. I was just thinking about you yesterday. Hadn't seen you in a few days. Hope everything is good with you. Angus is another guy who lives in upstate. So let's see. We got Patty. We got the Farrells. Me. I think maybe that's it. It sounded like there was more. And Bottom Dweller. I thought there was more. I thought there was somebody else too. Quite a few people from upstate New York. Patty, you're upstate, right? I think she's upstate. I know she's in New York, but I couldn't remember.
I just found out that there was. I know of, well, now it's me, Swampy, Foxy, King and Queens of Sicklage, and Susie Q are from Pennsylvania.
Rachel O'Leary.
Oh, yeah, her too. How could I forget her? I'd like to meet them.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely would like to meet her. But all those people you named. Yeah, Susie Q's actually been up here. Queens and Sullivan County. Okay. Susie Q actually went to a Country Max store, which is like a Tractor Supply store. Do you guys have those, Country Max?
No, we just have Tractor Supply.
Okay, it's sort of like that, but they have live animals and stuff there too. They have fish and birds and different stuff. But she actually came up to one that's like half an hour from me. So she had done a tour there before I knew her or anything. So that was pretty cool. It's actually a YouTuber who manages the animal department there. So I've been to other Country Max stores and I wasn't too impressed with how their fish and stuff looked, but I went to check out her store and there's a marked difference. You really can tell that somebody knows what they're doing. I mean, just the tanks themselves look so much better. So
I have experienced that with my Petco up in Altoona. We have two of them, but the bigger store, it definitely changed for the good. The manager that works there, he's really into it. He he's bringing oddball fish in that they normally don't bring in.
Nice.
And that's where I got them red Venezuelan. I actually got some bumblebee catfish, and I have thread fin rainbows in there. And they're all in that QT tub that I made, and they're all doing great. So he's doing something right up there.
And, I have nothing against those places. I mean, I would prefer to go to an LFS, but if a lot of people don't have them. So, and I get it. Maybe the reason a lot of people don't have them is because of those big box stores. But, I mean, what are you going to do at that point? So as long as you get somebody that knows what they're doing to manage it, I have nothing against it. I'll go there.
I was even putting it into his ear that they need to change their beta setup. And I told him some people to watch, like, Corey from Aquarium Co-op, the setup that he has in his store would work great in there.
Yeah.
And then they would live longer, you get better quality betas. Like the one day I was in there, I pulled 4 dead ones and took them back to their table and said, "Hey, listen, these are dead. I don't think you want them out there."
Yeah, and those what Corey has isn't the best for long term, but for selling them, it's worlds better than those little cups that they put them in. There's also Tara came in and Grumpy Mike. I see. Let's see. I said hi to John McKenzie, John Larson. Hey there. Fish and Floral. How you doing? I think that's all the new people. Good to see you. And Angus, when was your birthday? I missed it. Happy late birthday, man. Okay, you were going to say something? You started to say something. I interrupted you.
I forget.
I figured. So you used to play video games.
Oh yeah.
But it's been a while.
Yeah, that was one of my go-to stress relievers, and I didn't have fish tanks then, so that was it's a great stress reliever. When I worked 2 to 10 shift, we actually had a group of us that would play together all the time before we would go to bed, and a lot of times we was doing it up to 4 in the morning, and so I did a lot of late night gaming. And a lot of now I'm doing late night live streams when I'm not working.
And what kind of games did you get into the most? I'm guessing first person shooters.
Yes, we did do a lot of them.
A lot of those kind of games.
Yeah, but I ventured into RPG games. So when I'm trying to remember the first one. Oh man, it's right there. It's kind of first person shooter in a way, but it's not. It's where there's a storyline. Oh man,
it's gonna bother you now.
It is.
Describe it a little bit. Maybe I'll know. I love role playing games. That's what I play the most.
Well, I actually one of them was Castlevania.
Oh, okay.
It came back out. The other one was had to do with the guy going down fighting demons in hell. That was a crazy one. It'll come to me. I hate it. Yes, I played Halo. I got away from that though. Boy, whenever they started bringing these cheat codes out, and it just was not fun anymore.
Yeah.
People, that was another thing that started getting old. Like with Call of Duty, Halo, they were figuring out ways to cheat, and it just wasn't fun.
That is unfortunate. Hey, well done, still here, Dante's Inferno, and oh, happy birthday, Angus.
Yeah,
Today is Angus's birthday, so Bottom Dwellers Aquatics, happy birthday.
Far Cry. I just got it. Far Cry.
Okay. I haven't played those. Yeah. I've seen those. There's like 5 of them now, or maybe even more. And I know both of my sons have played it, but I haven't checked it out. Did you see what Bob said, Kaler's Aquatics?
Yeah. he ain't lying.
You're going to be like Ed too, huh?
Yeah. A little bit. But my red beard's natural though.
Yeah, I've never seen him without it, so I'll be interested to see it.
He was actually with us late last night too.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he stayed up for quite a while.
Yeah, he's definitely a late night person.
Somebody mentioned it in Geek Boy. I think you're right. I think it was Diablo.
Oh really?
Yeah.
See, that's the whole series. I like the first 2 better than the third one, but all of those. I actually got to beta test the second one before it came out. Way back in the day. We didn't even live in Arizona or live in New York. We lived in Arizona at the time. So that had to be like 99, 98, something like that. I got to beta test that one. I really got into them for a while. We played an online one called Asheron's Call. That's actually where I got my Rico Stan name from. And we played that for like 7 years, 8 years, and met a lot of really cool. My best friend in the world played that game, and that's how we actually met, was on a forum for the game. We were talking about weather and stuff. The forum was just about everything, but we were talking about our weather and noticed our weather was pretty close. And I said, well, that sounds like what we get. Where are you at? And he was right up around the corner from me. And
no kidding.
Yeah, we ended up hanging out. Our kids were about the same age, so we go to their house all the time and just have a great time. He's closer to me than my own family is. He's been my best friend for, I don't know, 15, 20 years now. So let's see. All right. Okay. There was another question again, but we got off on the video games. And what was it going to be? We talked about family life. You're married?
Yep.
How long you been married?
Oh man, I hate that.
Hopefully she's not around.
7 years.
Okay. That's supposed to be like this, man. You got to know. You got to know.
I don't even remember my age a lot of times.
See, I know how many years we've been married, but sometimes I get the date wrong, the actual date. I know which month, but I get the date wrong. But my oldest son's birthday is January 21st. My daughter's birthday is April 22nd, and my anniversary is October 23rd. So sometimes I get those messed up, and I think that's not bad. I remember the months. It's just the date that I forget sometimes. I know it's one of those 3.
Yeah, it's easy for me to remember when we got married. It was November 4th of 2014. We knew each other since high school, but whenever I got out of the military, we got together, and it was November 15th of 2006. So we've been together for, holy cow, 15 years. Boys, time fly.
But it took you a while to get married, though.
No, I had my reasons.
Yeah. Well,
I've been through some bad stuff before, so.
Yeah. And plus, that seems to be a smarter way to do it anyways. Mm-hmm. My oldest son was at our wedding. He was about a year and a half old. No, he was almost a year old. He was at our wedding. So, we took our time too, but not that long.
Yeah, it was 8 years before I popped the question.
But it's been this long, so you must have done something right.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Kira plays Diablo for nostalgia. That the music, the acoustic guitar that is in that Diablo will always stick with me. Such a great game. And it was one of the first RPGs that was more just a hack and slash, but it had some story to it, but it was really just, it was more about the fighting and stuff. A lot of the RPGs I play now are just, the story is so, like the Witcher series, the amazing stories. And
yes, I played those too. Did you know there's a show out now on Netflix?
Oh yeah, we've watched it. I'm waiting for the next season.
I need to get back into it.
It's a great series.
Diablo, is that where you was fighting demons and stuff?
Yeah, it was. The town had been taken over.
No, this ain't the game I'm talking about. It's kind of like you heard of God of War for PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
For Sony, it was Xbox's kind of version of it. It wasn't Diablo. That's going to drive me nuts because I really liked it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up, and then I'll message it to you.
Yeah. I'm curious now.
Crazy. It was my first game that I played that was that style of gaming that wasn't first person shooter where you was going out running and gunning, trying to get the high score. But
now you've always played on consoles, or have you been like a computer player, or?
It was consoles. I couldn't get into that because the whole button thing, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, my first console was Pong in 1972. So I've had consoles all this, the whole time. Mm-hmm. But we also had our first home PC in the late 70s. My dad worked for Motorola, and he got to bring home these kits that we put together to build our own computer. And there was an RPG on that called Temple of Apshai. So that was like 1979, 1981, somewhere between there was my first RPG that I played. And I've been hooked since, and I played just about all of them.
My first computer game was Oregon Trail.
Oh, yeah. Like a lot of people. Yep. A lot of people have died of dysentery. I was going to say syphilis. That's a different game. That's Oregon Trail.
We've actually, in my family, we've had every game console from the Atari up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had them all. And my son, he wants to get a PS5, but he's going to wait a little bit.
I was going to buy myself the new Xbox for Christmas, but I'm holding off too. I've still got a few games to play, and I haven't been playing games much lately. So right now I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I just picked it back up today after months away from it. So
I couldn't get into that game. My brother loves it though.
John McKenzie said Doom?
No, it wasn't Doom.
Yeah, because that was more of a PC one too. I don't think it was even on the Xbox.
No, it came out on Xbox.
Oh, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Not the original though. The last one. The last one.
Yeah, they made one for those systems. Yeah, Doom originally started on a computer, if I ain't mistaken.
Yep, it did. And Grumpy Mike says, I play solitaire. That should count, right?
Yeah, that's a game on the PC.
It's a game. There's some strategy.
That's just starting. You got to get with the Spider Solitaire. That's where it's at.
Yeah, that's funny. All right. Well, I didn't make a list like I usually do. And usually I spend the hour before the stream goes live putting together some questions based on things I know about people. And this time I spent all that time playing Assassin's Creed. So I didn't come up with a list of questions for you, Skipper. So I apologize, but we're going to go ahead and open it up to the chat. Let's see. We're 20 minutes in. Okay. Open it up to the chat and see if anybody in the chat's got any questions for Skipper. Remember, it doesn't have to be about fish, but it can be about fish if you're interested in learning about his hobbies and stuff. Well, there's a good question. How many tanks do you have?
10.
Wow. And is that one the biggest, or do you have bigger tanks than that one?
No, this is my biggest. I actually wanted to get a 75 and put an Oscar in it, but I kind of changed my mind on that.
I like now. How long is that tank? It's not a 4-foot tank, right?
It's a good question. Yeah, it's 4 foot.
So, I mean, a regular 55 is 4 foot and 12 inches deep.
Well, this, I don't know. I'd have to get my tape measure.
Maybe that, because to me it doesn't look like a 55. It looks like it's bigger.
No, it's a 55. I did the measurement thing. Yeah, we weren't. I wasn't too sure about it at first. And I did the measurements, and it came up to 55.
Okay, it's just a different form factor. I like it. I mean, it's cool. I like how tall it is there. Big M has a question, and this is one that he asked every single time. If there's one thing you could change about yourself, what would it be?
Nothing. I'm happy with myself. I am me, and I will never change for anybody.
That was quick. You didn't even have to think about it. Everybody else has been like, even me, because he usually asks me too, and I'm glad he did it this time. Here we go. Bob, do you see Bob said?
Yeah, he's messing with me. No, it doesn't come off. It's glued to my head.
How many different channels do you mod on?
Oh my!
Quite
originally, yeah, quite a few. It originally started out with Dan's Fish, and that came about. He wanted to start doing giveaways, and I reached out to him in chat. I said, I can help you with that. And then before he discovered Nightbot, I actually sat here on the laptop, copy and pasted names, put them in number order, and then whenever he hit the numbered generator thing he did, yeah, I would tell him who won.
Gotcha.
And then after he found Nightbot, thank God, because I'm telling you, that was it was a lot. I didn't mind doing it. I was helping him out,
And did he have as many people back then as he does now? I mean, sometimes there's 300 people in that channel, in that stream.
No, I think then it wasn't as many. Bob would be able to tell you more than I could. That's where I met Bob and Candy. I don't think it's been as nuts as it is now, but that word got out there and people learned who he was and stuff that he does. He's become pretty big.
Yeah.
I co-host with Pam Punchy Paints. I help her out. I co-host with I'm on Bob Kaler's channel, unless he kicked me off. Whenever I can make it to his streams.
Used to mod on my channel.
Yeah. Oh man, I really want to meet them guys down there. They seem pretty cool. I really like them. I co-host Griffin's. I help him out. Furloughs Aquatics I co-host, and then I have mine, and TN Aqua is my co-host on there. Now, I mod quite a few of them.
Yeah. And was Dan? You said Dan's was the first one?
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I know I go to a lot of streams and I see you there and modding, just like Bob and Big M too. I see him in quite a few as a mod. And I'm not even going to answer your question, Big M, because that's yeah, that's just out there. That makes me worried about you, doing things that college kids do when they're at college.
What the heck is that?
And he probably has there's probably an answer to that. I feel like it's a trap or one of those type of things,
He needs to answer that for us because now I'm stinking curious. An orange, a corridor, and a lightsaber. What do you get whenever you mix all three?
Oh, he didn't say a lightsaber. He said a Star Wars weapon. So that could be a blaster. See, it's too wide open.
Yeah, it is too wide open.
It's just an orange laser corridor.
Yeah.
All right. So, Big M used to be a mod on my channel too, just like you used to mod for Bob. That guy's awesome. He, I did a shout out for him the other day because Big M is everywhere and he's always sharing information with people. And, some people you see in there, it seems like they're always fighting with somebody, every time they're just being a jerk to somebody. They're just fighting. They're just always being rude or abrasive. I've never once even seen him be negative, at all. And I think we have enough of those kind of people in the world, and we don't have enough of people like Big M that are positive and I enjoy seeing those type of people more because there's plenty of people out there that just like to insult other people and just be jerks. So it's nice to have people like Big M around.
What's nice about what we do now, I think we have a pretty good community, what we call the fish fam. I just don't want to see people trying to separate everybody. I just want us all to, stay together, and that's just, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. So that's just what I would like to see.
Well, I hear people quite often saying that there's a lot of drama in the background and there's a lot of politics in the background, and I don't see it. And that's probably on purpose because I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it. You're always going to have people that rub you the wrong way or people that you don't care for, but you don't have to engage with those people.
Nope.
It's easy enough on this platform to just ignore them, like Rico always calling us jerks.
The fishy jerks.
The fishy jerks. It fits though, don't it?
Yeah, it does.
I couldn't come up with anything else. I was looking for fish fam. Everybody's got their, hi, fishy folks. Everybody's got their own little thing, So fish jerks was the best one. But maybe it's not jerks in a bad way. Mike, you're old enough to remember soda jerks. Maybe I'm saying it's the people that are serving up the fish knowledge. Huh? Never thought of that, did you?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. William, don't see it either. I don't think you need to pay better attention. I don't think you need to go looking for it. Sometime it'll find me. And again, I'm so new to the whole fish fam. It's been really, I didn't even really start making videos. My first video was in October, but I didn't really start making videos until December. So it's really been 3 or 4 months. So I'm probably new enough that I just haven't seen any of it, and it'll probably rear its ugly head at some point. But I don't want anything to do with it. I want everybody to, like on these streams, I want everybody to feel welcome to come over. I don't want anybody to feel like they be ostracized or picked on, and that's part of why we stay away from the politics so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get it. You get into talking about that, and then what you said at the beginning, the religion thing. That's a wormhole you do not want to start.
Yep, because those aren't factual things.
No,
those are belief systems, both of them, and they're not factual. So people have a hard time just discussing it without being jerks.
Yeah.
And Patty, you're absolutely right. I didn't think of it either until 5 seconds ago. Bob, I do see some of what you're saying, and I usually just stay away from those streams, or I'm on those streams until that stuff starts coming up, and then I leave.
Yeah.
What's left of our intelligence. And you know what, Patty, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in here, but Patty, I appreciate you quite a bit. Patty always makes me laugh, and I like her dirty sense of humor. You know,
straightforward.
She, like I said a few times, she's like my spirit animal, because her sense of humor is very close to mine. Okay, any questions for Skipper? Yeah, you're right, Angus. You're right. And a lot of the times there is no right or wrong. Sometimes there's right for me and wrong for me, and right for you and wrong for you, and that's it.
Yeah, what it comes down to in this hobby is learning. I don't care how long it's been, how long you've been in the hobby itself. Stuff changes all the time. New stuff comes out. Within the from whenever I did it, whenever I was a kid, and then I got back into it, and I started actually listening to what people put out there, the information. That's what's worked for them. And I have tried some of it, and then I put my own tweak to it that I know that's going to work for my systems that I have.
Yeah.
I could get away with this fish tank. I could probably do a water change in it once a month, because I have it dialed in. It's been up and running for 2 years though, so I can get away with that. Now my other tanks, I need to do weekly water changes. It's just all on your setups is what it comes down to, and then it's nice to put out information of stuff that you have learned, you have figured out on your own. You might even discover a new way on how to do something, and it'd be like, oh my, why weren't we doing that 10 years ago?
Yeah.
That type of stuff happens every day, and it don't matter. It just ain't the fish hobby. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about it. Everybody, you're going to learn something new every day. So,
and you've got to have that open mind to realize that just what you know now doesn't mean you're going to know that. How do I put this? Just because you know how to do something today doesn't mean you're going to not learn a better way tomorrow. You just always have to have that open mind. What I'm supposed to be getting excited about something? I missed it. Let's see.
Yeah, they put it in there anyway. Bob.
Lurking driving hole. What is it? Wait, I missed it. I bet Rico was the only one to get excited. Ash, you're going to get excited with those type of Okay, yeah, all right, I'm with you now. Lurking driving hole.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, if you know everything and can't learn anything, it's time to find a new hobby. Yeah, and
it just doesn't become fun. It won't be fun anymore, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I mean, there's still some things. Oh yeah, you can breed them or whatever, and maybe get that rare exotic fish. But I don't think if you stop learning how to take care of your fish better, I think that is a lot of the fun of it. Learning how to, like I haven't gotten any egg layers, egg spreaders, whatever, none of those to breed yet at all. Just my guppies and shrimp are the only things I've had breed. So that's where I'm at right now, is trying to, find out the best way to get that to happen with like my CPDs and stuff. And people love to give you advice and Bob, we've talked about this a few times, and Bob even had a show on it. But people love to give you, unasked for advice, unsolicited advice, and I don't want that. I don't want advice until I come and ask you for it. I want to learn how to do this, and I want to talk about it on the way. But I don't want you to tell me what you think I need to do unless I say, what the hell do I have to do? What am I doing wrong? If I ask for advice, it's different. But so many people just love to just tell you, this is how you got to do it. This is what you got to do. And no, it's not. This is how you did it.
Yeah, I could go, like, say I had CPTs, I could throw a bunch of Java moss in there and probably be okay, but it might not work for you.
Yeah.
So it's all about trying different things until whatever works for you, you stick with it. Now, if you find out there's a much simpler way to do something, then you just try it. It may not work for you, but you never know until you try.
Yeah. More than one way to skin a cat. Yep. Never been sure. Yeah, I have a little 5-gallon here that I need to get a heater for because it's usually pretty cool in this room. Actually, tonight it's not. It's actually mid-70s. It's usually mid-60s. But so I usually, all my tanks have heaters. But I've got a little 5-gallon that's been cycled, and it's just got one little plant in it in a cup that I'm going to use. I'm going to put the male and female CPD in there and try again here this next week. So... and my Bosemani's are still pretty young. They're not quite a year yet. I'm not sure the exact date of them, but if I want bad advice, I'll go to Facebook. That's a place I try to stay away from, and I don't care for Facebook at all. I don't go on there. It's the worst of the worst.
That's a good question, Em. Listen here, Ed. Watch yourself. Skip or gallop?
Hey.
Skip
or gallop. Well, it's not called Gallup's Aquariums.
No.
He likes to saunter.
Yeah.
What do you think about Big M's? What?
I was. I kind of wish I didn't have pick this catfish, but then again, I don't know. That he got me there.
Yeah, he's good. He's good that way.
Oh, I'll never get hornwort again. I can tell you that on a plant.
No,
I can't grow it. Whenever I tried it, all my needles fell off. Made a heck of a mess. I said, nope.
Yeah, and I've heard that from other people, but I have a ton of it because I can go down to the bay and get it in the summertime. So I go down and grab some of it and bring it up and do a peroxide dip. And I've got it in all the tanks. It grows like crazy. But I just drew a blank on the plant. It's another one that's really easy that a lot of people grow, and it does not grow for me at all.
I can't grow guppy grass.
Mine seems to be doing okay. So you definitely want to do hornwort, but you're not sure about the fish. Maybe the pictus.
Well, see, I don't know. No, I'm good with the pictus. There was one fish that I had years ago that, man, he's a mean bugger. I just can't remember what it was.
I don't have any yet. Again, being so new to the hobby, I don't have anything that I wouldn't want to keep. Anacris, Alodia. Yeah, I love that, and it does really well for me. It does really well for me, unless I dip it in peroxide. It does not like peroxide. I usually do a peroxide dip on my plants when I move them from tank to tank or whatever. And I did that on the Alodia, and it just stripped all the leaves off of it. But at some of the joints, it started growing new. So it didn't totally kill it, It is recovering very, very slowly, but I definitely won't. I won't dip that in peroxide ever again. I've got some I'm looking at right here in this other. I've got 2 5-gallon tanks right next to me. It's funny because Lefty lots of numbers. I won a beta from him off of his channel. I don't know, last November.
Yeah.
So I bought myself a little 5-gallon tank for it and put it here next to me, and sponge filter and got all set up. Well, it happened to die on the way here because it took 8 days for them to get to me, and he only lives 4 hours from me. It took 8 days to ship it. Not his fault in any way, but so it didn't make it. But then I won a 5-gallon tank from Lefty right after that, and it's the same exact one that I bought for the beta that died. So now I have 2 of these 5-gallon tanks, and they're both because of Lefty. I have not tried the alum dip. I've heard about that.
So one thing I want to mention, like whenever I do live streams, if I talk about a topic, it's what I have done. I'm not trying to tell anybody what they need to do.
Yeah.
And that's when me and Griffin stream too, we talk about what I like. We did the egg layer thing the other night. It's what has worked for me. It's information that I'll give information that I've watched on the video that I thought was pretty cool that I wanted to try and I just couldn't get around to it. But there are just so many things. This is platforms nuts of the information that's out there. It blew my mind. It blows my mind.
And that's what like James and Ed always say in every stream. They always say, look, we're not experts. So when we're answering a question, we're going with what experience we have, and that's it. That's, you want to do your own research too, but maybe this is a help to get you started on your research. This is what works for us. We're not experts. We get nothing on the stinking channel. Patty. Whoa, listening to Lefty is pretty lucrative, and we get nothing on the stinking channel. You get to see us. That's not nothing. That's something. God. Great. The pay is good, though. So I'm not seeing any questions here for Skipper. That's how it usually is, though. We open it up for the second half, and these people just don't want to ask any questions. They make us do all the work like we're supposed to entertain them.
Yeah, they're scared.
That's rude.
The chat.
Rude.
I like it when the one thing I do like about whenever we do a lot of streams that I'm involved in is when that chat picks up, it could keep you going forever.
Yeah. Yeah, you think you're just about, hey, there's Lefty right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think that the stream is starting to end, you're about done, you had your subject and you talked about it, and then boom, all of a sudden somebody says something and you're off on a tangent that takes a half an hour. That just happened to Ed and I last night. I don't even remember what the topic was now, but somebody brought up something. We were getting ready to shut it down, and then we were on for another half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Ice cream, yes or no?
Bottom Dwellers asked, what would my dream tank and setup be? I kind of like the Maboo puffer. If I had a place for it in my house, which I never would for a 125-gallon tank, or actually bigger, 300 or whatever, I that would be my dream fish, would be the Maboo puffer. I just think they're so cool.
They are cool. All the puffers. I'm a fan of them. So far, I just have the pea puffers, but Fantastic Freaks has a bunch of different puffers, and I can see myself sort of following that path at some point. Not now, because the next tank is going to be a another community tank, but whenever I get my fish room in the basement set up, that's what I want to get. I want to get some different tanks. What's
Bob?
Do you get to drive the fire truck? Mr. McKenzie wants to know.
I will. I'm going to be taking classes for that. Matter of fact, I got training next week. Starting,
Nice.
at least for the ambulance right now.
I have a good friend who does it here, and he's constantly training. I say good friend. I haven't even talked to him probably 5 years now, but he was a good friend. He was somebody I used to work with, and he was very big in the. I think he actually got to a paid position. There's only like 2 paid positions in that town. It's one of the bigger. It's actually the county seat, and it still has volunteer firemen. That's how small this county is. The county I used to work for had 35,000 people in the entire county. You know, most cities are bigger than that. If you could have a man soda with one YouTuber, who would it be? Man soda. That doesn't sound very good, Ed.
I know what he's talking
from real man.
He should have said an adult beverage.
Yes, because man soda just sounds. It doesn't sound good. Hey, Anthony.
That's tough.
Say hi? I'm sorry. Did I say hi to I Hate Stupid People?
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Just one person. Who do you hang out with the most on YouTube?
A lot.
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough one. And that's a question you're going to get me set up with, but I'm not answering that. That's a setup.
Oh man.
He's trying to get me.
It would be hard to pick. I mean,
it is.
I'll tell you what, Ed would be up there for me. You know, Bob Kaler would be up there for me. James from Fish Room Fever. Trying to think other people that Patty, and that's not a man soda, but Patty would be up there. Big M, geez, yeah, it would be so hard. And you know what? I used to drink a lot of beer. I used to drink a lot of everything, but I haven't had a beer probably last summer. Last summer, I'd have one. It used to be, 6-pack a night at least in the summertime, and then rum and Coke in the wintertime. From football season started, it was rum and Cokes until Super Bowl, and then back to the beer after that. But a couple of bottles a week of big bottles of rum, a fifth of rum a week, and I don't really drink at all anymore. Not at all.
Yeah, my party days was really the military. It was every weekend.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
I mean, you sort of need that extra time to blow off the steam. I can't do it anymore. The health doesn't really let me do it. The most days I don't even really feel that good to begin with. So to add the alcohol on top of it just it's not worth it. I do miss it a little bit. Especially going out, hanging out with friends and stuff, especially in October when we have the bonfires and stuff. We have a winery right on the next road, and there's a trail. Used to be, the trail's overgrown now, but we had a trail that, went through the woods right over to the winery. And in the fall, you walk over there, and on the way back, you walk over and drink the bottle of wine. And there's a place where you had a bonfire right in the middle. And
that'd be cool.
It was awesome, and so I do miss that a little bit, but I don't know.
I have fire. Well, not now because there's snow, but like on my days off, I usually have a fire and stuff. Have a little hangout. Whoever wants shows up. And I like that because, the camaraderie of it.
Yeah, just hanging out around the fire. That's a I don't know. It's a caveman thing to do, but
Yeah.
I've always loved it. And the last few years though, kids don't want to do it. They're not interested. I'm like, come on, I got some shit to burn. It's not just wood. There's some other stuff I throw on there every once in a while just to get rid of it. And oh, one time when I was still drinking, we had a big couch in the basement, and we didn't even. I took the cushions off, and that was it. And the couch went on there. And man, that I'm surprised the cops weren't called because that was a huge fire. But hey, I didn't have to deal with the couch; it was gone.
Nope. Yeah, the only thing you had to deal with was the metal frame.
Yeah. And that all we did was rake it all up, put it in the wheelbarrow, bring it up right by the front. There's a place in our front yard right by the road where we put metal scrap because guys come around every few days. Even this time of year, they come around every few days to pick up your scrap.
I've actually used to do that too. Me and my brother used to clean up farms. Oh,
really?
Farm. Yeah.
Just for the metal scrap or for just whatever?
Metal.
Yeah.
Metal, copper, it didn't matter what it was. We used to do that quite a bit.
I guess it's not as worth as much as it used to be. That's what I've heard.
No, unfortunately, it's not. And that has to do with the economy and then the whole China thing. Because it's funny because if you really look into the recycling of it, a lot of the recycled material goes over to China and they use it.
Yeah.
As opposed to why ain't we doing that ourselves? I don't get that.
I guess it's just cheaper to ship it all the way over there and let them make stuff out of it. Part of it is wages, right? They don't pay people, near what we do. Furlough used to throw hand warmers in the fire.
I never knew that.
Yeah. I wonder if the warmers that come with the fish do the same thing. I mean, it's the same basic idea.
Yeah, pretty much. I would think. Oh,
I'll have to try that if we ever have a fire again. Actually, I just looked yesterday and we didn't burn some scrap wood we had from last year, so it's still sitting out there. And we have a big section in the back that I throw brush into for the foxes and all the birds and stuff. And we have a whole section. We only have an acre altogether. It's just under an acre altogether. But about a quarter of it is just brush. I just let it go just for the birds and everything. And we get a lot of deer and turkey and all that kind of stuff out there too. So I just leave the brush out there.
Yeah. That's good natural hideouts for them. They enjoy that stuff.
It's not like there isn't enough around us, but so many people just, they have an acre of land and they mow their lawn every 3 days, and it's just a huge waste. It's a huge waste, especially if you don't do anything with it. There's a guy that lives down the road. Well, he's a few miles from us. He's got probably 20 acres and he mows it. It's lawn. It's just a huge lawn. He's got a house sitting in this huge lawn. That's all they do. I mean, there's never anybody out there. It just seems like a huge waste. I mean, how many resources are going into keeping that grass looking nice? What's he spraying on the grass that he doesn't need to? If he let it grow up, think of all the wildlife that could be living there, but oh well.
Plant trees.
Yeah. I mean, fruit trees and stuff. We have lots of peaches and apples and all kinds of stuff. And live stream in the fire pit. That's a great idea.
Uh-huh. I actually used to be in the lawn care business too with me and my dad.
You've done a lot of different. That should be our question. All right, let's do that. So what was your very first job? Even if you did jobs before you were like legally allowed to, did you do anything like when you were a kid? And what different jobs have you done?
So I started working at the age of 11. My first summer job I was a gardener. The lady had a big produce stand. She lived up or just right beside us, and I just whenever I worked for her for it was like 2 or 3 years, and then I went and I became a dairy farmer for a while. After that, I went into the food service industry. I actually started the Army Guard first as a cook because I had wanted to originally go to York Technical Institute to be a chef.
Oh,
That's why I brought that up about your son there. And then I worked at a hospital in down in the kitchen. I've worked at KFC, Hosses, uh, and then the military. I did, total. Technically, it was 4 years in the Air Force. 2 years was the Guard. I got out. I worked at Smith Transport. It's a trucking company. I was a mechanic there.
and did you do mechanic stuff in the Air Force as well?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I went from working with food to turning wrenches.
Yes.
But I've always done that. I've learned a lot of stuff that I learned through construction and auto mechanics through my dad. So then, like I said, I was in the fire company, lawn care business, did that for a while. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty well rounded. That's a lot of different stuff.
What did it for me? Because back, let's see, 88, 9, 10, 11. It was 93. It's whenever I would have been 11 years old. That
Ouch.
my dad, yeah.
Oh.
My dad was working where I work now, and the pay there wasn't like it is now. So there was three of us, three boys. Then my mom and dad. So there's five of us total, and I got something just clicked with me whenever I turned 11. I was like, wait a minute, I could go across the street here, pull some weeds, learn how to do a garden, make money, and just buy my own stuff. That way it took stuff off of my parents. I kind of grew up early. I matured early.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a lot of, Big M said, how many hats have you worn? But in a way, that's sort of the same question, because that's what you always call them, mini hats, right? You've worn a lot of different hats for work. I mean, that's a lot of different stuff. I was trying to think. I did construction. That was my first job. And I think I was 16. I was what's called a stucco hottie, HODDIE. Yeah, I've never been a hottie. I was never a hottie. I was always a hottie. But that's where you mix up the mud and everything, and you put it in the wheelbarrow, and you wheel the wheelbarrow sometimes up onto scaffolding, and bring it to the guys that are putting the mud on the walls and stuff. That was in Arizona. That was my first job, and then I did a bunch of the fast food stuff. I worked at I became a greengrocer, so a produce guy, so I was a produce manager for a chain called Bash's that's in Arizona. At the time, they had like 90 stores, so they were pretty good size, but they were only in Arizona.
Okay.
So I did that, and that was actually pretty decent money at the time. And we're talking about the early 90s, and I was making like, I don't know, 45, 50,000 a year back then. So it was for working at a grocery store, it was pretty good money. And I got tired of dealing with the public. I just got tired of dealing with people. So I decided, I got to go to school, and I did. I went to school and got a degree, a computer science degree, and then I've been an IT guy since, or I was an IT guy the whole rest of the time. So I didn't have a lot of different. I did construction, and then basically retail, fast food and the grocery store, and then IT, and then that was it. But I did work at a lot of different places the whole time I was an IT guy. It seems like IT guys move around a lot.
Yes.
I think the longest I worked anywhere was like 6 years.
Yeah.
15 years at a grocery store.
I forgot to say I've actually worked at a sawmill before too.
My son did that. My oldest. He
And
got hurt.
it was the old way they done the sawmills, not like nowadays. A lot of it's automated. So
Yeah.
this was the old school way where you actually moved every piece of board, every railroad tie that they made. It's that you get a work out there.
That's what he did too, because it was just a little local. It was actually one of his friends from school. His dad set him up with it to start his own business. So he was a high school kid running the sawmill, and my son worked there. But actually, he was doing something. I don't know exactly what he was cutting, but it kicked back and it knocked his arm out of the socket really, really bad. It dislocated it and destroyed his socket. So he's always had problems since. And now he's an IT guy too. He followed my steps there. He's been an IT guy for the last few years.
It's funny you're saying about IT. I remember there I had this is when I was on the military base, and I was having an issue with my Dell. So it still had a warranty, and I called them and I said, "Hey, this is what's going on." I said, "I already got this thing apart." I said, "These two cards are fried." And they're like, "How do you know that?" I said, "Well, I work with circuit boards on my job." I said, "I know when one's bad." And they're like, "Well, that's going to void your warranty." I said, "Your guy ain't going to get on this military installation. So just send me the parts." And they did. So I fixed it.
Nice. Well, that's good that they did that, because they're right. It would have voided. And they probably could have been like, that's too bad. You know, Dell, they're sort of hit and miss, especially when you work for a corporation and deal with their customer service. It can be hit or miss there. But they had decent products and okay customer service. I think HP back in the day had the best customer service, because a lot of times a guy would show up. I worked for a chemical company and all of our servers ran HP hardware, and a guy would show up and say, "Oh, one of the drives is failing." And we didn't even know. We had no idea. And we'd go in and he'd show us exactly where, and we'd say, you could see the proof that the drive was failing, and he'd have the replacement before we even knew it. I mean, that was part of the service that we paid for them to know that, but they were great about being there just on time and knowing when to get stuff fixed before it actually caused an issue. So,
yeah.
Verlo, I need to hire an IT person. No good with technology. My wife, she hates it. She hates technology. She gets so frustrated so easy with it. And she actually just went back to school to be an accountant.
She's gonna be done with technology then.
She's a nurse. Well, she was a nurse, and now she works a front office position in a doctor's office where my daughter works there too. They work together, and she just got tired of it. So now she's going to be an accountant, and I think it's pretty cool. And I've said this in other streams, but I think it's very cool, and I'm pretty proud of her for going back to school at such a late stage in her life. Hey, color guppies.
She's going to end up having a course of learning how to use the Excel spreadsheet.
Oh, she already did, and she hated it. But at least I could help her with that stuff. When it comes to some of the math and stuff for the accounting courses themselves, no, I got no idea, and I don't want anything to do with it. I hate math. And you don't have to have math to be an IT guy. And if that's one thing I could tell people too that want to get into IT, don't worry about all those certifications and stuff. You don't need those. 25 years I did it. I never got a single cert. I had a degree, but I never got a single certification. And I made some pretty good money. Palm Pilots. Wow, yeah. I have some Palm Pilots. I still have them. Those are old. Do you remember those, Skipper? They were like, they were smaller than the phones. They were, personal digital assistant, PDA, right? And it had a calendar, and maybe you could play a couple games or something on it, but it was the precursor of the cell phones.
Yes, I do remember them.
I still have some Palm Pilots in the basement. I have a lot of really old technology. I've gotten rid of some of it, but I had my original TSR-80 Model 100 laptop from 1981, 1982. It ran on 2 or 3, I can't remember, AA batteries. The screen on it was this big, and it was all just lines of code. I mean, that's all you could do. It wasn't, there was no graphics or anything.
Yeah.
I just got rid of that a couple years ago. I gave it away to somebody. But we still have a lot of the old computers in the basement and all kinds of stuff. So, okay. We've been just chatting. It's 8:00. Anybody, any questions? I didn't see any more. If I missed them, go ahead and put them in there again for us. Anything you'd want to know about Skipper's Aquariums? If not, we will call it a night. Caleb's Aquatics.
Really? I've actually watched him from the beginning.
I don't think I have. Does he not go to any of the streams or anything?
No, he don't. He at least our streams he doesn't. He just has his own channel. He actually started to sell fish online.
A lot of young people doing this these days, isn't there? That's good to see. It's good to know, like Kenny was saying about Lazarus and Brienne, knowing that the young people are interested in the hobby and getting that far where they're selling stuff. I'll have to go look them up. Oh, there we go. Yep. Can always count on Big M. Bucket list fish, Furlow wants to know.
Well, right now, until I figure out what I'm going to do down in the basement with setting up a fish room, I'm just looking forward to those stinking golden Denison bars.
Yeah, we got that in common. That's definitely the one that I'm looking forward to. Your fish room, are you going to do up the automated water changes and everything, or no? Still going to go old school?
Yeah, I'll just use a Python. And the reason why I don't want to do that is because then I won't really pay attention to my tanks. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's how I personally feel. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do. I would just rather be right there dealing with everything.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do the automated just to make it easier on myself. And I do want to do a whole a big room, like a real fish room, not because this is a fish room now, but it's 15 by 15. There's 8 tanks in here, and it's not people have, like LRB and stuff. But I want to put a couple of ponds down there and just do the whole thing. Corey shouted him out a while back, and he took off. Huh?
Yeah,
you sort of remember that then. Maybe let me see. I'm just going to look real quick here and see if maybe I am already. Oh, no, I'm not. But I am now. So that's a good one, Big M. Personally, I think autofill is a good idea, but siphon out the water yourself so your hand goes in the tank.
I would do that. Yeah, I like it. I like that.
That's a good mix. So you're still touching it like you were talking about, but being able to autofill. Part of our problem, though, is we're in a well, and we're at the top of a hill. Well, this time of the year, it's not a big deal. I can use all the water I want. But in the summertime, in some years, when it gets dry, if we go through a little bit of a drought, our well actually dries up. We have to have a guy come out and fill up the well, which doesn't seem like it would make sense because the water is just going out into the aquifer, right? But it actually works. It costs $40. He brings, 1,000 gallons of water, and that gets us over the hump, and it lasts for a few weeks, and then everything starts to come back up again. But it's because we're at the top of the hill, even though we're right on Lake Ontario, we're up high enough. I guess to drill down far enough would be a lot more expensive. That's what I was told. I really don't know that much about wells. It's the first one I've had, but that's what I was told, was to go any deeper than where we're at would be like a different level of pump and a different, it would have been a different type of well, would have been a lot more expensive. So, Oh, Bob's a mod there. Oh, of course you are. Bob's like you too. He's a
Yeah,
mod.
he's awarded a lot of places.
He's a lot like you with all of it. Oh, did you see Dave Farrell's question? 40-gallon tank. What fish would you try to breed?
Corridors. That's a perfect footprint for them. I need to get them. But guppies will go great in that. It depends on if you're wanting live bears, guppies, or platies, swordtails. There's all mollies.
I think what I would do, Dave, is I saw your daughter has a video. She's going to a local fish store, right? I can't remember the Benton's fish store or something like that, fish room, something. I can't remember the name of it, but I would go talk to them and see if they're looking for something that they would like to bring in, that they would buy off of you, and maybe see if that would fit with the 40-gallon. I think if that's what I would do. How do I look it up? Which one? Oh, Benson's. Yeah. And Dave, what were you asking to spell the corridors? Corridoras? I hate the lag in between. I think that's the hardest thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the corridors.
There you go. Yep. Big M's on it. That's the hardest thing about doing these is the lag in between. I have a very hard time shutting up when I'm doing these because I can't stand dead air. And I was just on with Mike, Grumpy Mike, and Eric and Kenny last Friday, and I felt horrible because I didn't shut up. I was the guy talking the whole time, and it's Mike's stream. I apologize to him, but I can't stand the dead air. I feel like we need to have a running commentary to keep people entertained.
Yeah.
Maybe we could juggle or something, or maybe here. There you go. That's my special skill. All right. So anybody else, any questions? Otherwise, I think we'll go ahead and say goodnight. Give the store some free fish. Always a good idea, right? To get them hooked. Let them know that you're that they know what to expect from you. Right, Bob? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Gets awkward sometimes. Yeah. I've been in some streams and it does. It seems like that. It's you're like, oh, what's going on now?
Yeah, that happened to me last Sunday with my stream. I was not prepared for it at all.
So you just didn't know what to say, huh?
Yeah. I was going to have a guest, but her internet went out that day, so I was like, oh crap. I got to figure this out myself today.
Hey, there's Kenny.
Kenny E.
Yeah. If you need somebody, to come on too, like I said, I'm retired. I got nothing but time on my hands. I don't mind coming on people's streams and talking.
Yeah, I'll bring you up sometime.
But Furlough, you said that's why I like the panels, because you have multiple people talking. The only problem with that is so many times you have 4 or 5 people on there and they're all talking at the same time. Mm-hmm. Or somebody's trying to talk and they just can't get a word in, or there's just enough lag between one person and the other where, I've seen that on a few where somebody's talking and another person just starts talking over them, or another person's talking like I'm doing now and Skipper would just start saying hi to people in the chat. I've seen that too. That's the bad thing about it. I think having 2 or 3 people is fine. Mm-hmm. But for me personally, I don't like it when there's like 6 people up there. It just seems like way too much.
You got to experience it last night.
Yeah. And most of the time I felt like I was just doing this. I was just sitting. I felt, I wanted to contribute, but I didn't know what to contribute. And it was just so much. And I don't know, maybe it's just too many people, so I just felt like I was sitting there just smiling. Yeah. One panelist gets left out. Yeah. And I notice those types of things all the time. I don't want to say names, but I noticed that a couple of weeks ago. I was watching one, and the guy is the one guy was just sitting there, and you could see he's trying to say stuff. I wanted to jump in and say, "Hey, he's trying to say something," because he's and he never got it in there. So much competition.
Yeah, if I'm on one of them panel streams, I'm watching everybody, and if somebody looks like they have something to say, I let it be known while I'm up there. And then they're like, "Oh, okay, what was you going to say?" And then,
yeah, because it's got to be a conversation, right?
You just got to manage it. That's all.
You got to have the back and forth. Don't have stream etiquette. Yep. But there's all kinds, and who am I to criticize? Who am I to criticize anybody? I mean, I'm definitely no professional. So,
thank you, Patty.
Yeah, nobody's paying for this quality entertainment. So, no. All right, guys. Well, like I said, I don't think the stream police is here. Is that Cheap Trick? Oh, that was the Dream Police. Never mind. Stream Police. 8:15. Okay. Yep. I'm going to. I think we're going to say goodnight. Anything you'd like to tell anybody or tell everybody before we jump off? Anything about yourself you think people don't know or should know, or maybe something about yourself people shouldn't know, but you're going to tell us anyways?
I'm an open book. I don't care.
Yeah, that's good. Me. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Everybody take care. And thanks for being here. We'll see you on the next one. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Today's Tuesday. So next Monday at 8:00 p.m., Chattanooga Ed and I do our Geek Out thing. And then next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's Amy from Sand Creek Aquatics. And should be a good time as well. So, hey, everybody take care, and we'll talk to you on the next one.